Hi guys, and welcome to this VA Life interview with the lovely Sarah Davey of A VA to Save Your Day. I'm absolutely thrilled to have her here today to talk to us about her current business journey and how she got started in the VA world. So welcome, Sarah.
Thank you for having me, Charlotte. It's
Not
great
at
to
all.
be here.
Not at all. So tell us a little bit kind of about you, your business, your background, and how long you've been a VA.
Okay, so my background pre being a VA, I've always been a personal assistant stroke executive assistant. So I've got kind of over 15 years experience being an exec PA to CEOs and board level MDs, and I've always loved it. I mean, it's the thing I've done, I've loved. It sounds corny, but I love to organise, and I'm really passionate about helping support people and just really make their days a bit easier. And in terms of becoming a virtual assistant, I made the leap to self-employment at the end of last year. At the end of November, I left my full-time job and set up a VA to Save Your Day. So I've been going now for probably about 7 months now, and it's all going good. So yeah,
that's brilliant. And so when you kind of made that leap at the end of last year, what was it that kind of inspired you to go from working as a PA to kind of running your own VA business?
So for me, as cliche as it might sound, I had my daughter back in 2017, and it was just a complete game changer for me. When I was on maternity leave, I just started thinking ahead, thinking about what was going to happen when my maternity leave came to an end. And as I've kind of said, I love doing the job I do, but I just knew in my heart of hearts I just wanted that little bit more flexibility to be around more when my daughter was small. And although I loved my job up to when I kind of left and went off on maternity leave and thought, yeah, absolutely coming back, I just felt that it was going to be a real struggle to kind of do both. So during my maternity leave, I just started looking at, what could I do? Because obviously I still loved kind of the aspects of kind of that PA career and how could I make it work for me. And I discovered virtual assistants. So I did lots of kind of research about that, and I kind of really researched the industry. And then I found you guys. So I found VA, and I spoke to you because I kind of read up about your nurture program, and I just thought, wow, this sounds exactly what I need. So yeah, that's kind of, that was like my real why, and is my why. A big why is kind of my daughter, and having that flexibility. And yeah, I knew it would be one of the hardest things I could do, set up on my own, but I actually quite wanted the challenge as well. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying being my own boss with all the highs and lows that comes with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Your story sounds so similar to me in terms of that, just every intention of going from mat leave to come back full time to work. But I think I just had no concept of how that little person was going to change the way I felt about everything.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad when kind of people say it before, and before I was a mum, I was like, get it. And then I was like, okay, I get it now completely.
Yeah, but nobody can tell you till you've done it, and then you go, oh,
exactly.
No, it's really interesting. And I think, certainly when I was looking at other things to do, I just couldn't find anything that I think that I would have enjoyed from an employment point of view, that was ever going to come close to giving me that sort of flexibility of trying to be a mum and also having some sort of work. Because, part-time jobs around here are like gold dust. And even then they're not necessarily going to fit in with your skill set. So
exactly,
kind of setting something up that you can do that sort of brings it all together.
Yeah, for sure.
So you've got your business now, been going about 7 or 8 months. So what kinds of services or offerings are you giving to your clients? Is there anything that you kind of specialise in?
So I have very much, one of the big things that I do is obviously traditional VA work. I know it's slightly different to being a PA, but that's where my experience lies, and that's what I'm really, really good at, and you know what I know. So that's a big part of what I offer. I also do, and I'm finding kind of with the clients that I work with, it's just general business support. So I'm finding kind of every business I'm working with is different. They have different needs, be it, you know, being help for kind of contact inquiries, getting processes up and running, all that kind of stuff. So I offer that as well. So we're very tailored to your business needs, general business support. I also do document creation and PowerPoint and keynote presentations. I have a few clients that are kind of out pitching a lot, and you know, they have all the ideas of what they want to see, just can't kind of put it in there. So I help them get that together. I have loads and loads of experience with event management, so I offer that as well, so planning and management. And then also I'm finding people that do run businesses, there's a very fine line between your business and your personal life. So I kind of brand it as help with personal life admin. So, you know, any kind of lifestyle things that aren't getting done around the house, or with, you know, family things, presents, anything like that, I help with that as well. I'm also currently finishing off Digital Mum's 10-week foundations and social media marketing course. I wanted to do that, one, because I really want to just understand a bit more. I mean, obviously I've used it up to now from a personal side of things, but I'm now using it as a business. So I really wanted to understand how I could really tap into it. So all the things that I've learned on that course, I'm kind of putting into use for my business and all the platforms that I have. And then in time, I'm looking to kind of offer that as well. So really just I'm an all-rounder, I'd say, an all-rounder VA. And I think kind of as my business grows and my experience grows, I'm sure I will offer other services as well. And I think that's also what I like, is that, as I was saying earlier, I really want to challenge myself. I love using my brain again in a slightly different way, and doing a bit of studying and, you know, learning new packages. Because I think when you are an employed by someone, you just use the packages that you're told to use, or your IT department tells you have to use, whereas actually it's really great to just have the opportunity to learn about all these other ways to work. And you know, a lot of these things are free that you can use, and I'm loving that. I'm really, really enjoying that as well, just kind of learning more. So yeah, as I said, I think as I grow, I think kind of my services will grow as well.
Sounds like a completely mixed bag, but as you say, I think certainly in my experience, I find that sometimes your specialism or something comes along that sort of finds you. So you're doing a lot of different things, but actually that's okay, because at some point you might decide that variety is amazing, but equally you might go, oh, actually now I've discovered this other thing and that's what I love. But you didn't know at the beginning that that's where you were necessarily going to go with it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I love. And I think as well, kind of just in this day and age, the fact that you can be virtual and work anywhere, I think it's so important to just to be flexible and be kind of up and ready to change and go where it takes you. Because I think, you know, it's only going to get better. There's only going to be more people that become virtual workers. So to kind of be ahead of it and, you know, be there, I think it's only a good thing, never a bad thing.
No, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And of course, you mentioned there about sort of doing personal stuff for your clients as well, because there is, you know, it all blurs into one, doesn't it? So how do you currently find that you can juggle your business and your personal life? Is that working well for you?
If I'm completely honest, it really is a juggle at the moment. Because I am kind of obviously still in my first year of business, I currently only have 2 full days of childcare on board. So obviously those are great days. I can really get some stuff done. And then the rest of the time, I'm very much managing work rounds, looking after my daughter. But that's not a bad thing, because ultimately, one, that's why I'm here. And the whole thing is the whole flexibility again. You know, I'm running a business that works for me and works around my other needs, my family's needs. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of can be a juggle, but actually it's fine. It's working for me, because ultimately everyone I work with, I'm completely transparent about, you know, my background. And, you know, obviously I do have a daughter who I look after, so I'm not always free of her, if that's makes in the
Yes.
sense of the normal days of work. But I'm happy to do some work in the evenings, and I communicate very clearly with my clients. So if there are deadlines, I will always meet them, always to a high standard. So I've not at one point so far kind of found it a problem. And I think if anything, it's again just kind of highlighting to me just this whole flexible working for me at the moment is just what I need. So yeah, it's a juggle, but do you know what? I think if you have kids, you're always juggling anyway, regardless of whether you're self-employed or whatever. It's just, there's never enough hours in the day.
No, it depends. It's like different phases, isn't it? Certainly, like I'm coming out of the nursery phase. My second child's about to start school, and so it's like that's next phase of only having ever 9 to 3 to work, and like it just comes in phases. And I think the advantage of running your own business is that you can pivot when you need to, and you can switch it when you need to change the way that you work, or when you work, or whatever it is. You're in control of that, right?
Yeah, it's so important. It's so important. And yeah, it's interesting kind of talking quickly about your child and stuff. I'm finding as well at the moment when my daughter's around, because she's really in the toddler stage, it's just like physically, she's like, no, mummy, you're not, so I really have to just kind of focus my time, and it's fine. It works.
Yeah.
Just the boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've found certainly that if you are upfront with clients at the outset about the fact that your big why for doing this, that you have kids when you work, and you set those boundaries out with them, there's not really an issue. There's not that kind of, I guess, perceived fear that I think some people have in the outset that, I must be at my desk 9 to 5. If I'm not, I'm slacking off, or whatever the crazy things we tell ourselves are. It's not been a problem because you've already set that out at the beginning.
And ultimately, and I've found so far, every one of my clients are completely self-employed. So actually no one works normal hours, and everyone understands. So, like I said, the main thing is when you get given a task, you always understand if there's an urgent deadline or not. And then you just work to it that way, and you just keep always communicating, so they don't think necessarily you're not doing what you're meant to be doing. And it's fine. There's no problems, I don't think. So,
No, I agree. And everyone's moving more to that sort of way of integrating work and life. So ultimately being ahead of the game in terms of already knowing how to flexibly run a business, I think is a real asset.
Yeah, I think so too.
So come on then, what's the best thing that you found so far about running your business?
So I would say that the best thing is obviously the flexibility. So I've really kind of, the worry that I had during maternity leave, and then when I did go back to work for the short time before I left, it was the feeling that I just didn't see my daughter, and I don't feel like that at all anymore. And I feel like such a happier person because I've got that balance, and I have got a business that I love, and I'm doing something I love, but I'm equally around for my daughter, which was just a huge thing for me. And then also what we touched upon, I'm really loving learning again, be it through study or just the new packages or new things that I could offer, all that kind of stuff. I just love the challenge and challenging myself. It's just such a great thing to do. And just step out of your comfort zone, however scary it is. It's just actually the best thing you can do. I'm loving it. Definitely my highlights, and being my own boss.
And being your own boss, exactly. Saying no to,
it's great.
Saying no to the clients you don't want to work with. Empowering.
Exactly. It really is amazing.
And then just for equality, what's the worst thing?
I think, I'm sure everyone says this, I think it's just the roller coaster of being self-employed. So, you can have one week when you're like, oh my God, this work's coming in. What am I going to do? How am I going to juggle everything and kind of fit it all in? And then, 2 weeks down the line, you're like, where's the work?
Yeah. Where are my clients? Yeah.
So it's just that kind of the roller coaster, which it's that self-employment, isn't it? But then I think the outweighing of being your own boss, the flexibility that I've got at the moment, it outweighs everything, because I think you just kind of have to go on the journey and enjoy the ride, as they say, and the highs and lows, and learn from things, as well, when things don't always go good, and then when they do, then amazing. So yeah, that's definitely kind of the one. And I think because obviously I've come from always being employed up to this point, it's still kind of learning that kind of side of things. But yeah.
Lots of it comes with time, right? Of the
Absolutely.
lessons you learn along the way.
Yeah, for sure.
You made me think about, there's a really good meme that's got like a zigzaggy line that's like the day in a life of an entrepreneur, that's got like, I love it, I hate it, oh my god, where are my clients, oh I wish that person would do that. And it is like within one day you can feel totally differently about it.
I know, but yeah, I wouldn't change it. So yeah, I'm still definitely doing the right thing, that's for sure.
That's amazing. And you touched on the fact earlier that obviously I know, but for people watching, that you got into all of this through signing up to the Nurture program.
Yes.
So, yay! So how would you say that being on that program has helped you to get your VA business off the ground?
So I honestly don't think I would be where I am right now if I hadn't have done it. One, that comes from the fact that I've also already kind of mentioned this. I've always been employed up to last year when I became self-employed. So one, I had absolutely no idea how to set up a business, no idea at all. So your Nurture program is amazing from that aspect, because it really takes you through absolutely everything to think about, so you don't feel so overwhelmed, because it's kind of set out in ways that you can kind of learn, take things in, do the next thing. So that's amazing. But it's more than that as well, because it's more about the challenges you can face, thinking about your mindset, all that kind of stuff. So it's not just your normal training program, it's so much more. And kind of on a side note, just your Facebook group as well, the VIP VA Facebook group is amazing. Like, just to kind of, I remember when I first kind of, I think I joined that before I did the program, signed up for the program. So I very much kind of sat on the sidelines to begin with, and you just kind of watch the interactions on there. It's incredible, what you learn, the support you get. It's just amazing. So yeah, it's been invaluable, absolutely invaluable. And I definitely wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't have done it. So yeah.
Thank you. It's obviously I love both the program and the Facebook group, but it is so good to hear about how both of those sort of elements help somebody, because certainly that's why I created it. Because when I started, I wanted something that not only said you must set up these systems, you must have this in place, but I wanted something that had that, like, some days you're going to feel like crap, some days you're going to doubt yourself, some days you're going to have crappy clients, here's how to deal with them. I wanted all of that for people, because that's the reality of it, is it's not all going to be plain sailing all the time. There has to be the sort of how to deal with the more challenging situations around being a business owner. So
yeah, and I think kind of following on from that, again, coming to a self-employed business from being always employed, you don't have your colleagues, you don't have that kind of banter all the time. And when something's going wrong, or someone's just really been out of order and you've got to try and deal with it, you're like, okay, it's just me here. And so it's nice to have kind of an outlet of people that understand, and it from a similar industry as well. It really is invaluable, like you say. It's incredible. Yeah,
someone to sort of virtually hold your hand so you don't sob too much.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Well, just before we go and we get on with some other work, because I know we're taking time out of one of your busy work days, if you could go back to the beginning and give yourself one piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
I just think I would tell myself not to be scared and just do it. Don't faff around with it and just get on with it, because there's so many quotes and stuff out there that kind of say, once you do something, once you leap, someone will catch you, or when you open yourself out, then the universe gives back, and it really has up to now. So yeah, and I think if anyone is considering doing the course, or considering potentially going out on a VA journey, then they should absolutely speak to you. And I think if they've got the time and the money, they should really, really consider training, because I think it's invaluable, and I think it really sets you up for the long haul. Yeah, and I can't recommend you guys highly enough, and I'm forever recommending you guys wherever I go.
Thank you so much, hon. That's so lovely.
Yeah, pleasure.
And obviously, just it's so nice to hear from someone that's clearly just made it work, has owned it and gone and done it, and is obviously you know, not that life is perfect all the time with it, but as you said earlier, you're just loving every minute of it because it's a challenge and you're getting that flexibility with your daughter that was the whole reason for this. So
Exactly. But also big thanks to you, because you've helped me just kind of set up in the right way and gain the confidence to just do it and go out there and feel like, yeah, I'm doing this and this is great. So thank you.
Not at all. So thank you so much for coming and joining me on a video, Sarah. If people want to get in touch with you, where can they find you, website wise and social media wise?
So social media wise, I'm on all the top ones. Mainly my big fave is Instagram. So my Instagram name is @AVA to save your day. And then my website's the same, www.ava to save your day. Same with Facebook. LinkedIn, I'm just under Sarah Davey. So yeah, come and check me out. Or if you want to come and have a chat or want to kind of discuss anything, you know where I am.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for that, my dear, and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Charlotte, for having me.
See you later. Bye.